There's definitely a difference between new broke and old broke. And the pandemic made it apparent who was the new broke and the old broke. Because you didn't see poor people out there stockpiling 20 things of water, 50 things of toilet paper. Because we knew what to do. We knew how to adapt when we had toilet paper. Baby, did you know if you rub it between your hands, you can soften the pages of a newspaper or a magazine or something? When you in dire straits, you do what you got to do. And people who are the new broke, they're out here like in distress at being broke. People who've been broke all their lives. A lot of things stress us out, but being broke ain't never been one of them because it's all we know. We learned our survival skills. That's why people are so scared of recessions and stuff. Like, heck, some of us be so broke we don't even know we in a recession because that's our everyday life. And then the thing is, the folks who are the new broke, they stepped on the old broke on their way up, and now they got to kiss their ass on the way down. Mm-hmm. You got to ask the old broke how to go to the food pantry, how to apply for government assistance, how to do this, how to do that, what time you need to go to be able to get served, and all of that. You have to reach out to those same people that you thought you were better than to get help. Like my whole platform is based on things I don't live. This is nothing that I haven't done before. Like the whole lentil thing came because me and my husband was dead broke and we needed food and we made lentil soup. I know how to adapt and survive. The thing is, you need to learn how to humble yourself. Just like that whole debacle with the angel tree and people saying this and that about folks. Just imagine for a second you and your kids was on there. You would want your kids to have nice things too. Just a thought.
So the concept between old broke and new broke. So people who have never really had to struggle financially. They were always comfortable. Maybe they weren't uber wealthy, but they always had enough. They were never really worried about not being able to get groceries or get the basic household essentials. They were able to eat out without worrying about it like breaking their budget. And then old broke struggled. And from this, she talks about the adaptability and honestly the creativity that sometimes you have to go through. I don't know if I would want to try the newspapers as toilet paper, but you have to be adaptable. And human beings are extremely adaptable to their circumstances. I think if I can find the article, I'll post it below. But it says it takes about 6 months for someone to adjust to their life. A lot of that is in reflection to like lifestyle inflation. So if you like make more money, you will adapt to that new income and then inflate your lifestyle instead of using that extra to save or do what you need to do with it. I think the same could be thought of for this situation. But if you are struggling, you do need to kind of put your pride aside and look at the big picture. So I do love that there are creators on here like See Mini Mom or Frugal Fit Mom, and if I can think of the others, I'll post them below that show you how to make budget meals. Because let's face it, food is such a big part of someone's budget. You need to feed your family for a good price. You need to feed them well. Like you need fruits, you need vegetables, you need whole grains, you need proteins. And those creators show you ways to do that on a budget. This creator blew up really well because of lentils, which is a very cheap protein and can be used in multiple different ways. Like I'm trying to figure out different ways to use it. So far I've done it in muffins and I've tried it in like ground beef recipes. But there are also creators that show them who are currently struggling going through the food pantry lines, kind of taking that stigma away. If someone needs help, they shouldn't be shamed into needing help. So if you have not been in your circumstance before and you need help, don't be afraid to reach out to your local community, schools, police departments. They have those resources or can direct you to those resources to help you with what you need.
The worst kind of broke is when it ain't you, it's life. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm actually getting money, but it keeps getting put to random stupid shit. I'm not really poor, but I keep going poor because life keep kicking my ass. You supposed to be up. That breach. All of a sudden your car fucking up. Come on. All of a sudden you got a fucking ticket. Whoa. Phone start fucking up on you. You gotta get a new phone. What the fuck is going on? You sitting there looking at your expenses like, yo, if none of this life shit happen, bitch, I had 3 bands, 4 bands, whatever. You'll be racked up. But no, life keep playing with niggas. Life keep wanting to play with niggas like you won't end this. Sorry. Nigga, you clocking in every day, size and everything. You looking at your account and you like, damn, I'm getting to it. Then 24 hours, some shit happened. Then you look at your account 48 hours later and you got 27 cents. What the fuck is going on? This is not my fault.
Doesn't that always seem to be the case? Like, as soon as you are doing well, something breaks. We got our emergency fund back up to about 1 month, and then we were going to start tackling paying off our car. And then my son needed surgery. So that is going to be gone. I think it's what, Murphy's Law? What'll just go wrong will go wrong. So it does. And here's the thing. The most consistent thing in life is that things are going to go wrong. There are some people that things seem to always work out for. I'm not one of those. So I meticulously plan things. So I would, if you're able to, I know there's a million things people need to do with their budgets. You need to make sure you can afford your 4 walls, saving up for an emergency fund, investing, saving for your future. But you should also be thinking about sinking funds. If you got an older car, putting a few dollars aside every month specifically towards the car. So taking that into account. So hopefully next time something happens, like you're doing really well, you got money in the bank, and then something breaks, you're already prepared for that so it doesn't completely wipe you out. Now, I know that's a lot easier said than done, but if you're able to anticipate or try, it'll help kind of diminish that blowback a little bit.
Am I the only one that's not fazed by eggs being almost $9 a dozen, or am I just old poor? I don't understand the hysteria of eggs being expensive. Just don't eat eggs. Get something else. Oh, well, milk is expensive. I'm lactose intolerant. Get something else. The fresh produce is still cheap. The meat that is on sale or marked down, that has never failed me. Wash it up real good, honey. Place that thing in the freezer, mark and date it, and cook it when you're ready. I just don't see what the problem is.
I don't know why people have such an issue with getting clearance or markdown food. My Kroger has a stand in their produce department. They are constantly marking things down as they're maybe not looking that aesthetically pleasing, or for like meats and other things as they're nearing that expiration date. Not the expiration date, the best by date, the sell by date, whatever the date is. So like 1 or 2 days before, they will mark it down normally by about half. And here's the thing, when like ground beef is up to like $7 a pound for basic ground beef, not the organic, grass-fed, all that, just basic ground beef. Yeah, you look for clearances or you look at other avenues. You need to get creative, because if you are at a point where you have these big goals, or let's just say life's kicking you in the butt, you need to find ways to adjust. And when it comes to eggs, I'm not a big just eat an egg person, but I do have eggs because I'll use it in baking recipes or other things like that. But just this weekend, I used like flax seeds, whatever that is, to make a flax egg as a binder. There are other substitutes you can use. So getting a little creative, using something a little more economical, and that's something that being in the situation will make you do, is be creative. Because is having that exact thing you want more important than other things? And if it is, that's you. But for me, every time I go, I am doing a quick little scan around those clearance sections, manager markdowns, and looking and seeing if it's something I know I can use either this week's meals or again, freeze for a future meal.
I'm convinced that everybody should be broke at least once in their life. My husband and I'm not going to include my daughter because although we were very broke, she was unaffected. Anyway, my husband and I went through a financial hardship this year, basically because I didn't go back to work and his job didn't make enough money to pay our bills. We're not completely out of the water, but we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry if I cry during any point of this, I'm pregnant. And struggling financially can be really hard emotionally. So first of all, I should clarify, I think that there's a difference between being broke and poor. To me, being broke is a circumstance. It's not supposed to last that long. It's a transitional period for many. Being poor, on the other hand, is a completely different thing. I would not consider us poor. I would not say we were living in poverty. We had all of our needs met, but we just didn't have anything extra. There are definitely a few things that I took away from being so fucking broke. The first one, and probably the most important thing, is I learned empathy. I learned that you don't know everybody's situation, and you are nobody to judge other people because you don't know what they're going through. I must be having an emotional day. You don't know what they're willing to give up to gain. For instance, we gave up everything financially so that I could stay home and raise our baby. The second thing this taught me is that perspective is everything. Because honestly, something like going through a financial hardship can really break people. For us, it made us closer, I'd say. My perspective also brought me my TikTok channel, which has helped the family tremendously. Third thing being so broke has taught me is to be crafty and creative and learn new skills. We didn't go out to eat for about 10 months during this time, so it made me a better cook. And above all else, I'd say that being so broke taught me how to be genuinely grateful for the things you have. If we woke up tomorrow and didn't have anything that we have right now, we know that as a family, we would be okay. And that's important. Your life doesn't have to look like the people on social media to be happy. Sorry if this video was a disaster. And I'm definitely not saying that the only way you can learn those things is by being super broke. But for me, we learned a lot out of this whole year. So those are the things that being broke taught me.
I love this creator. I first came across her a few years ago, and it was a video of her like pushing her daughter in a stroller down the street, walking to, I think, the library, because they were a one-car family, and she was a stay-at-home mom. So if she wanted to go to the store, if she wanted to go somewhere, she needed to walk there. And I do agree. I think when you are struggling for something, it teaches you so much about yourself, what you're capable of, what you and your partner are capable of. If you can get through a financial disaster or financial crisis with your partner and come out the other side, what can't you guys do? I mean, finance is like one of the leading causes for divorce. So if you can tackle that and get through it and be happy, I don't see anything else that can stop you guys. I think the most important takeaway from this is if you are not struggling right now, don't be judgy to those who are. You have no idea what their circumstances are. You have no idea what they're going through. And they may share it with you, they may not. But just don't be so rude about it. Some people look down on those who are struggling. And nowadays, I feel like that's everyone. Every like average American is struggling. In the past few years, we've gone from making no money to finally making what I thought would be enough to support my family and be able to like invest and do what we wanted. And then pandemic hit. Nope. Inflation. Nope. What I was making then did not cover everything. We still needed our side hustles. I've been laid off. I know I've had family members who've been laid off and they're struggling, and just showing people empathy. And if you're in this situation, know everything's okay. There are so many resources out there to help you. Do not be afraid to use them. That is what they're there for. I know a lot of people are struggling. Food insecurity is such a big thing. So take a look. There's so many resources for creative ways to cook more inexpensive foods. There are resources of food pantries through your community, through local churches. Don't be afraid or ashamed to ask for help when you need it. People want to help. Let them. Thank you guys for joining me today. And if you are struggling out there, know you're seen. Know if you need help. There are resources out there. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.